Hello everyone! On the show today, delving into culture, we're going to talk about the role of religion in the conflicts that are happening in the Middle East. As some of you may know, nowadays there are many conflicts occurring in the Middle East. This territory occupies an important strategic position. Also, it is the birthplace of the three most important religions: Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, which creates many disagreements. And don't forget the reserves of oil. For these reasons, the Middle East is a sensitive area and it's exposed to many conflicts. Well, to better understand this topic, a few days before I interviewed three people whose points of view are very important to understand the subject. First, I talked to Idrit, whom is a 36-year-old Muslim man. He's originally from Egypt and he works as an ambassador of Possibility in the web page Ask a Muslim. I also interviewed Asiya, whom is a 25-year-old Muslim woman. She's originally from Jordan and she also works as an ambassador of Positivity in the web page Ask a Muslim. And finally, I talked to Acacia. She's a 40-year-old Catholic woman. She's originally from Israel and she's a housewife. I want to thank these people whose answers helped me to understand better this topic and the nature of the situation in the Middle East. To begin with, after talking to Idrit and Alaya, I realized that they have a big interest in informing me about Islam, as we can see in this part. What do you think about the role of religion in your society?
Islam is a way of life. For example, Sharia is the collective set of rules and regulations that guide Muslims in every aspect of their lives. More importantly, their relationship with God, society, and the human being. While Sharia provides the legal framework for the basis and operation of a society, it also details the moral, ethical, social, and political codes of conduct for Muslims, both individually and collectively.
Here we can see the great interest in sharing their beliefs with the rest of the people. At the end of the interview, Idrit told me that his web page Ask a Muslim was more focused on sharing the world of the Prophet Mahoma. This also happened with Alaya, who was not really interested in some questions, as we can see in this part. Do you think there are other factors that are more significant than religion that cause conflict in the Middle East?
Maybe. Politics and those things.
The reason why the interviewees didn't show much interest is because many people do not really know about the situation in which they found themselves, thanks to the lack of publicity by part of the social media and the fact that people prefer not to know about this. Aliyah and Idrit had a very similar points of view because of their beliefs and the cultural background. But the story changes when we talk about Acacia, the Catholic woman. Acacia had a more arbitrary point of view. Although she was not an expert on the subject, she expressed her point of view about the conflicts in the Middle East, for example in this part. Do you think that there are other factors that are more significant than religion that cause conflict in the Middle East?
Of course, territorial issues such as the Gaza Strip or the political differences of the countries, also the guerrillas and terrorism, are the causes of conflict, and neither do we forget poverty.
Do you think that conflicts between the countries in the Middle East arise from different religious ideas?
In its great majority, yes, although in my perspective, it is not so much religious, but cultural and historical, because everyone has their own beliefs. But when political or territorial issues are interposed, it is there when there is violence and conflict.
This is the case since she is a part of a minority group in this area and she does not support the most popular religious ideas that cause conflicts. Well, with the information I got from the interviewees, I could conclude that there is a violence attributed to conflicts, not only religious, but also political, and despite this, many people are not aware or do not want to face this fact. Although, I also realize that despite what many people might think, Many women belonging to Islam have rights and a good life. In the same way, it was interesting to talk to Acacia, who lived in Israel and was discriminated against. And because of this, she had to live in an exclusive area for Catholics. In conclusion, I can say that although this is a topic that encompasses many opinions and false truths, knowing the point of view of 3 different participants of the conflict has opened my eyes more about the reality and the reasons of this situation, and I hope this opens your eyes too. Well, thank you for tuning into our program, and I hope you learned something, because sure it is, I did. Till next time!